2 weeks after rancher Tristan Vospoy's death, we visited Sosian Ranch. Not only were there signs of the gun battles that took place here still evident, but dozens of Pokot herders were there as well. So were thousands of cattle that they owned. The herders allowed us to get up close and film with them.
Now it was from this perch where tourists, guests of the Sosian Ranch, would come and watch wild animals drink water in the heat of the middle of the day or at dusk. And in fact, just above the ridge over here is where Tristan Vospoy was killed. But now this perch is well and truly in control of the Pokot. And they come to watch their cattle drink here now. And those cattle are in their thousands, I can tell you. But the surprising thing isn't just the number of cattle, but the sheer number of the Pokot here as well.
The herders were armed, but with spears and sticks, at least on camera. They claimed that they didn't have any guns, but with such large herds to protect, that would be unlikely. I spoke to Lopokuyang Losire, one of the more senior members of this group of herders, first about the reputation of the Pokot, and then the claims that from their community were those who were responsible for the murder of Tristan Vospoy, responsible for violence and damage across Laikipia.
Hapo pengine tu walienda kukutana na mauti kiajali. Ni msoso tu hizi za tuseme nyasi ama kitu kama maji.
The herders knew that they were on private land illegally, but they said the push to keep their cattle alive overwhelmed them. Their herds were massive, but by this time of year, March 2017, these cattle had not seen good pasture for a good long time. So even when new lives were added to their numbers, certainty of their survival was slim.
Kenye inasababisha tuseme rasilimali hizi ya mifugo lishe. Juu sina mali wa kufugia. Yani sina shamba yangu binafsi. Yani ikikauka ninaenda kutafuta malisho kwingine. Kama ni maji, ninaenda kwa wenyewe, pengine asijaomba. Na hiyo ndio huwa analetanga mzozo. Ndio, kama tuseme area tuko sasa ni boya mtu, kwa sababu una lingine unaingilia tu kwa sababu ya shida. Unaona ng'ombe imeanguka na hiyo ndio tegemeo yako na unajua hauna lingine.
The fact is that Laikipia was always one of the grass bank areas for the pastoral communities. They either moved northeast or they moved up onto the Laikipia Plateau. So what we're seeing happening is an example of human population expansion, insufficient resources, and that human population moving into other areas where they see resources available. Those other areas are already occupied by people, and we're seeing conflict as a result of that. And that is going to continue. There has to be some solution.
Both Lopokuyang and hydrologist Dr. Sean Avery are right. The drought pushed communities further and further into Laikipia. But it wasn't just in Laikipia where this was happening. At the same time, east of Laikipia in Isiolo, where we first started this journey, the Iwaso Nyiro that feeds many of the counties here was drier than it should have been at this time of year. The group of Samburu herders that we first met in September 2016 had pushed north into the territory of the Borana community. It all came to a head in Kom, in the north of Isiolo. But it isn't just drought that had driven the Pokot and other communities into Laikipia.
Since we last saw them, the Leshekwet family's cows are looking as healthy as they were, although they should have been healthier had the short rains fallen as they should have and on time. The Samburus and the Boranas are all converging on the last few patches of grassland here, and that's going to cause conflict.
To me, the driver behind all this has been the loss of grazing. The loss of grazing further north, and I'm talking about parts of Isiolo and Samburu counties. because drought is a cyclic thing in this part. It's not new. This is not the first drought. It won't be the last. And dry seasons come every year. So the perfect storm happened last year because drought combined with the loss of, they reach a certain threshold of loss of grazing land, combined with the political season that 2017 was in Kenya, sort of ignited this.
This is a government land, is a holding ground, and I'm really shocked. A government who has double standards. His Excellency the President announced that we have drought has become a national disaster. And these people are just running here to survive because of the drought. These people are not getting food.
Now the former Laikipia North Member of Parliament, Matthew Lempukel, was to many a rancher and to the government the ogre in this conflict.
Who specifically has told people to go and invade ranches?
There are quite a number of them. Why are they denying it, and some of them have already been arraigned in court?
Are you referring to Lempukel?
Among others. Is one of them among others.
But to some herders, he was a hero.
Lempukel ni mtu analaumiwa tu. Na atuelewi ni serikali aina gani hii juu. Hata tunasikia kwamba Lempukel anastakiwa mauaji. Unashangaa Lempukel amekuja lini achukue bunduki aende apigane. Lempukel hatujawahi, hata na mimi nasema sijawahi sikia mkutano mbaya anasema muende mungie yani mashamba watu. Tuseme akikataa kwamba kuua ng'ombe ama kufanya kushika watu bila hatia. Wengine hiyo ndio wengine wanachukua. Na Laikipia kuna siasa mbaya. Kuna jamii tofauti. Wanachukua neno ngine wanaenda kukanusha. Na watafuti yale mazuri, anatafuta yale mabaya.
People entered there because of the drought. But the land owners used, because they are rich, they have been there. Some of them won choppers, some of them have a lot of money. They used the police. And when the police were moving out, they used excess force. Yeah. They provoked the situation. And now, after provoking the situation by killing people, taking the people animals, because the police were coming and see the fattest bull, they put to their lorries, go and eat them. The same things applies to the fat goats, put in the lorries. So when, and you know for sure, also these people won the illegal firearms. So out of that anger, that provocation, they retaliate. Some of them even banned the lodges.
The killing of 10 police officers on a ranch in Laikipia was one of the turning points in the conflict. But the former Member of Parliament was clear on this as well.
If they are killed in the ranch, this means that they are provoked. Because if they have killed your cows, what next? If they have killed your people, what next? And you have illegal firearms.
So then in that case, are the people who killed them criminals, or are they just provoked?
I think that there are people who have been provoked.
So they're not criminals?
They are not criminals, because if you have your gun if the government is not protecting you, and you have your gun to protect your animals, and the police comes there and kill your animals, kill your people, you can't see your livelihood just washed.
With tensions rising over national politics and a security situation seemingly spiraling out of control, the government deployed the military to Laikipia in April, allegedly to hunt for the raiders who were running amok. The result was catastrophic for hundreds of herders caught in between.
Vile hao watu walitukujia, nikatu walitukujia kutumaliza. Chukao walikuwa vitu viwili tu ndio walikuwa wanatafuta ng'ombe na mtu. Chukao wenye walitorokea pale chini, wakionekana kidogo, hiyo kifaru inaenda upande hiyo. Na ilikuwa inamwaga risasi mpaka hata sisi tukashangaa nini ndio inaendelea. Sasa ng'ombe zilisanyika pale, walirushia bomu moja.
In Laikipia, as well as in the counties surrounding it, hundreds of cattle, the only source of livelihood for the pastoralists in these areas, were mowed down by government bullets. The government made little effort to distinguish herder from criminal.
These are people who have come to settle in somebody's farm. They put up structures and they don't want to move out peacefully. They don't want. Yes. So the police are just utilizing a bit of some minimum force to evict these fellows. Yes.
But would you consider this kind of action lawful?
You need to get to the commander and find out, because there is an operational commander who is in charge. Yes.
No, I'm just saying operationally, would it be lawful for cattle to be shot? And
Maybe unless they were caught in the crossfire. You see what I was saying, some of these armed militias, they hide amongst the animals, inside the animals. That's where, and they start shooting at the police. Yes, unless it is a scenario like that. Because I don't think whether the police will just go around shooting animals without any provocation.
Bitterness against the government smoldered in almost every affected person we met.
Kuna wenye wametoroka kabisa, wamepita wanasema tunaenda Mount Kenya. Sasa sisi vile tulifikia hii mto Uwaso, tuliona kama hiyo ng'ombe haiwezi fika huko. Tukaamua tu kurudi, kama waturudie tu tumalize safari moja.
But the violence raged on. And just as it started in January, with the carcasses of wildlife dotting Laikipia's sparse landscape, it continued, this time with the animals of herders lying dead on that same ground. In the final episode of The End of the River,
How easy is it to keep a 100,000 acre piece of land without people invading it?
we look into the revenge attacks that took place in Laikipia County.
Wakafuja pia, wakaterrorize watoto.
Ile shida inaonekana kwa mtu analisha ng'ombe 3,000, kuna mahali ya kuchunga, unapeleka wapi?
And ask the deeper questions about what really was at the source of this conflict.
And this piece of land is on the boundary between the region of East Pokot and Laikipia. And there is something which is called expansionism.
And how is what we saw connected to the drying up of the once mighty Ewasonyiro River?
we're headed down to Majianyoka, and to be honest, I'm a little nervous because we don't know how close or how far the raiders are, and it's dusk right now.